So let's talk smartwatches, right? This is a KOSPET Tank M3 Smartwatch. It works with Android or iOS. I have it set up on an Android device right now. It has a Corning Gorilla Glass screen. Say that 5 times fast. It has a 1.96-inch HD AMOLED screen. It's really vibrant and nice. I'll show you that here shortly. This is supposed to do 5 atmospheres. It's IP69K rated for water resistance. That means it's like dive proof, can handle water related activities without any issues. Personally, I've showered with this thing. I even took it in my sauna for 10 minutes. I have a wood fired tent sauna that gets quite toasty and it handled the heat. Obviously, I would not recommend doing that. I just was curious. It will kill electronics fast, taking into a sauna, the heat and then the humidity, but it handled the moisture just fine. I got it nice and steamy, had it in there for 10 minutes before the case actually started to get so hot. It was kind of painful to wear, and then I set it outside the tent. That was the first day I wore it, mainly because I wanted to try getting the biometrics, the heart rate, pulse, O2 and stuff when I was inside the tent, and I don't want to take my Apple Watch in there because, yeah. And it did that well, and we'll get to that. For fitness enthusiasts, it's got 170 plus sport modes. It has smart recognition for 6 sports like walking, running, cycling, elliptical, rowing, and stationary exercises. Personally, for me, I used it on my bike erg, and it did detect that, because my heart rate was elevated and everything that I was exercising. It detected it a little bit quicker than my Apple Watch did, actually, which is interesting. If I don't put my Apple Watch in saying that I'm in workout mode, sometimes it won't actually catch the exercise. I unloaded an entire truck of a rick of hardwood yesterday, and my chest was pounding and I was sweating and I was moving nonstop. My Apple Watch caught like 1 minute of that. This caught almost the entire workout. The battery life on this thing is ridiculous. I wish my Apple Watch had this kind of battery. It's got a 480 milliamp hour lithium ion. They claim it'll do 10 to 15 days of typical use or 5 to 8 days of heavy use and 2 to 3 days with it always on. I've not tested the always on because I just don't want a screen constantly on my wrist. I don't do that with my Apple Watch either. But I will say, I've had this thing a week now and I've charged it once, and let's see here. It's at 43% battery. It was at like 90% when it came, and I wore it for a couple days and I charged it and it's only down to 43%. It's ridiculous. I wear my Apple Watch all day. I charge it about 7:30 at night until it's full. And then by 7:30 the next day, it's at like 50%. So this thing's pretty amazing there. It's supposed to be tough. It is beefy. This is like, there's some plastic here, but a lot of this is just steel. It is pretty heavy and beefy on your wrist. I have pretty big wrists, and this thing is kind of noticeable. It does come with this one band. It uses the little lugs where you just push that, pull it, and then the pin slides out. So it's pretty easy to put on there when you get it because it does come off of it. It does have some nice stretch to it. So if your wrist swells from physical activity because, blood flow and everything, it will have a little bit of give without getting too restrictive, unlike the sport bands on the Apple Watch, which have no give at all. So that's kind of nice. Like, you can stretch this out quite a bit. So yeah, overall, it's great if you're going to do sports stuff. Let me go ahead and show you the app here. So it has the app. I'll get this closer to the camera. I have not worn it at all today. Yeah, there we go. So it shows you your steps and stuff. And right, like I haven't worn it today, so my apologies. But it'll tell you like your mood, your blood pressure, your stress level, pretty much everything you can expect from a smartwatch these days. The heart rate. I'll put this on here, and we'll go ahead and we'll do one of the biometric reading things. First, let's talk about the buttons. It's got an up and a down button so you can navigate through the menus if you don't want to do it with your finger, if you like that. I will say sometimes when you're sliding this around, it gets kind of stuck. It's a little, sorry, this gnat's driving me nuts. It's a little weird. It has a couple of built-in watch faces. This is the one I like. I think it's kind of redundant that it shows the clock and the digital time readout. You can go in here and you can adjust the timeout settings and everything. You got some quick access buttons seeing my heart rate. So come over here to the side, and I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got all of the things. It's got, you know, this whole menu of stuff. Let me go back to the main menu because I don't think you really saw that. That's the watch face I selected. There's several. Some of them other people will probably like, but I like having all the access to everything real quick. You can connect it to your phone so you can control the music and everything on screen. I will say I wore this cutting grass and I used it to control the music, and it worked, arguably a little bit better than my Apple Watch for that. It does on my iPhone, but that's just because I think the Android integration with this is a little bit better. You can access your contacts and stuff on here and your call logs and everything. Oh, yeah. So the app has tons of settings, and it's way easier to go in here and message with the settings. You can set goals and, you know, do all kinds of stuff. And there's third-party apps, and I haven't really messed with any of those. But you do have your watch settings, so you can change your weather and raise to wake. I have raise to wake turned off. You can actually have it find the watch. So device found. All it does is just makes it doesn't have like a proximity thing. It just makes the watch make sound, but it completely fine. Just like with the Apple Watch, you have, you know, your sedentary reminder to tell you to stand up, do whatever. You can control app reminders, SMS reminders, all kinds of stuff like that. When it came, there was a device update, so I went ahead and did that immediately. So I already have the latest version. You can reset your watch from the app. That's nice if you wanted to sell it or trade it. So we're going to come back here and we'll go ahead and run a test. Don't mind the stuff that's on the screen. That's my fault. I got lotion on it and I just haven't like gotten some isopropyl alcohol and rubbed it off. My bad. I should have cleaned it. But hey, I like to keep it real. So we're going to go ahead in here. We'll have it see my heart rate. So I just recorded it at 82. My resting heart rate was 79. It's now saying 79, 78, 77. You know, we can come in here and see, this is what I mean. I'm trying to move that screen and it just wants to slide. So that's when you'd go in here and you'd use the up and down to page up. Much easier to do. Let's check my blood oxygen level. There we go. I guess I actually had to tell it to measure it. I will say, like, in person, this screen is actually really beautiful. The colors are super vibrant, pretty refreshing, actually. I was actually just generally amazed by the screen. My only complaint is, while it's doing the blood oxygen here is, again, it's pretty bulky. So there it's now done my blood oxygen and saying it's at 95%. Not surprising because my allergies are really bad today and I've been talking for like 10 minutes. You can set up a lot of these biometric kind of things, like the blood oxygen, the blood pressure, the heart rate. You can set them to run automatically throughout the day, or you can just go in and do it whenever you want. But yeah, my only real complaint is just how bulky this thing is. But, you know, if you want it rugged and you want a decent battery life, you're going to have that. Like, it is pretty chunky, and it's got some noticeable weight to it, but it is durable. I honestly thought I would break this thing. I thought, this is a really cheaply priced watch. I'm going to put it in the sauna, and I'm going to shower with it a few times, and it's going to quit working. And I've showered in it 5 or 6 times, and I don't even do that with my Apple Watch. And it didn't even care. And it didn't care 10 minutes in the sauna. It didn't get overheated. It didn't say it was hot. It didn't say anything. It was just like, oh, hey. Again, I would not expose it to those extreme temperatures because it's going to kill it over time and weaken the glues and the seals and everything. But this thing's a beast. Even an hour cutting grass, like, it started to get a little uncomfortable because of how big it was, and I did have to loosen the notch one. But, you know, that's because it was 90 degrees outside and I was getting hot and my skin was flushing and getting engorged and stuff. But yeah, this watch is just great, guys. It is the Tank M3, and it really feels like a tank. And I'll have a link in the description, link in the sticky comments. Tell me if you wear a watch like this or if you have one of these. I'd love to know who the customer is for these. I'll see you guys in the next video.